Blog Talk Radio.
All praises to the Most High, our Elohim, to our Heavenly Mother, to Yahweh Shai. All praises, all great joy that our justice and our prayers are being heard to the family, to the nation, that it is commenced upon the heads of the heathen to feel the pain and the sorrow that they have brought upon themselves by their lack of repentance. With the understanding, overstanding, understanding that we have now brought, that the Father has now brought to our psyche, to our beings, to our spirit, we now have enough ammunition to go against them. All praises. All praises. Our redemption is here. All praises. Goodness gracious. It's a beautiful time to be alive. It's a beautiful thing. We tonight are going to get into some things. And in getting into those things, we are going to be assisted by the good brother Sly. Brother Sly, are you there?
Shalom, my brother. How you doing, man?
Okay. I'm good. Say something else. Let me see if your mic's right. Let's see. Say something else.
All praises to the Most High.
There you go. Okay. There was a little crackling in there at first, so I didn't know. Maybe I don't know. It sounds good though. We ain't gonna let that deter us from this truth that we about to bring forward tonight, my friend, my brother. But before we start, I want I'm trying to find. I want to give shout outs to the Father for bringing us this information, and I also want to give shout outs. I don't want to forget this, to our brother that gave us multiple information on the Philippines that we have yet to even scratch the surface on. We're still in great joy and amazement of the information. Kalahir Johnson, Brother Johnson from the Philippines, be blessed. You are loved. Shalom to you and your family. Now, I want to read, because I think this is fitting right now. I want to read it from the Geneva, 1599. Obadiah. Actually, Brother Sly, why don't you take that mission to read Obadiah
from the Geneva?
Whichever one I wanted to read it from the Geneva, but you can read it from whichever one you want. Anything between the Geneva and the King James, anything else we ain't listening to. How's that?
That's fine. Brother, you should have told me. I would have had my Geneva out already.
I know, man. But I said I was going to do it, but then I just thought the Father said, no, let Brother Sly do it. So there it is.
Okay, we're going to read this from the KJV. This is the book of Obadiah. The vision of Obadiah. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. The pride of thine heart have deceived thee. Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Though thou shalt exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou And though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. Thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they not have stolen till they had enough? Bro, that's Esau to the core.
Put to the core.
To the core. If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes? How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. Shall I not in the day, saith the Lord, even destroy the wise men of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau? And thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed, to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter.
Mm-hmm.
For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. In the day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces, and foreigners entered into his gates, and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou wast as one of them, but thou shouldest not have looked on that day of thy brother in the day that he became a stranger. Neither shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction. Neither shouldest thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress. Thou shouldest not have entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity. Yea, thou shouldest not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. Neither shouldest thou have stood in the crossway to cut off those of his that did escape. Neither shouldest thou have delivered up those of his that did remain in the day of distress. For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen, and thou hast done. It shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they have not been. But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions.
Mm-hmm.
And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble. My brother, I love Obadiah 1:18. I need to read that one again.
Do it, brother.
And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble. And they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord hath spoken it. And they of the south, all praises, and they of the south shall possess the mount of Esau, and they of the plain the Philistines, and they shall possess the fields of Ephraim, and the fields of Samaria, and Benjamin shall possess Gilead. And the captivity of this host of the children of Israel shall possess that of the Canaanites, even unto Zarephath, and the captivity of Jerusalem, which is in Shepharad, shall possess the cities of the south, and saviors shall come up on Mount Zion to judge the mounts of Esau, and the kingdoms shall be the Lord's.
All praises, brother. That's good stuff right there. And it's important that we understand that the judgment has commenced. The fact that we now have a good understanding, and not a great, because we're still in this, still learning. We're like babes now, relearning about the Spanish Pacific slave trade. We now are gaining more puzzle pieces to be able to understand the minds of the Gentile in his lies, in their lies. Because what we're finding with this information is it's stunning. I mean, one thing really quickly, this is from Colonialism and Chronology, Chapter 5, 6A, Holocaust Against the Natives in the Minds of South America, Spanish Christian Mission Terrorism in Peru, Mexico, and on the Philippines, 1558 through 1600, Slavery and Mass Murder in Potosi and elsewhere in mines, Spanish occupation of the Philippines and of northern Mexico, extortions by laws and terrorism and slavery by Christian missions, torture and killings by Christian Inquisition, Chinese Empyrean ghetto in Manila. So from that little excerpt right there, what I'm gathering is they made us look for their gold, and they made us mine the gold in the hills all over, especially the Philippines, because that's Ophir, and Ophir was deemed the wealthy, lots of gold and silver. So they were there. Once they found the Philippines, they were there trying to get into the dirt, into the earth, to find the gold. They did the same thing in Peru. They did the same thing in Mexico. Now, why is and in the Philippines, right? So why are those three places important? Because again, those are the three places on the continent, on Turtle Island, north and south, that has majority of the gold. Like, this is where the megaliths were. This is where the civilizations were. They're not slick. They think that they are, but they're really not. And when you look at when you look at the three parts and see it from a biblical perspective, there's not much gold over there. Otherwise, they would have taken it off from Africa. What do they say is in Africa? Rubber, oil, and diamonds, and other lithium and other things. But those are newer materials that they weren't using back then. They were looking for gold and silver. So why would they bypass all of Africa if Africa is the land of milk and honey, to go all the way to the Americas to put our people, the 10 tribes, into mines to mine for gold and silver? Like, what's the reasoning behind that if everything was in the three parts? What say you, brother?
Basically, they knew who was over here.
Mm-hmm.
Knew. It was basically a 2-for-1. We could subject the true children of Israel, and they could pillage all the resources.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's right. That's right. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what their whole charge was. Their whole reason for being was. They were never set up to, and again, these people were never set up for creation. And I mean, based on their actions, all they've been ever set up to do was to destroy. So they destroyed the people to destroy the land, to take from the people, to take from the land. So this whole concept of these people trying to find a way to be something that they're not is why today they're having such a hard time. This is why they're having such a hard time. Because, again, we would have healed Babylon. We would have healed her, but she didn't want to be healed. She mocked us. She scoffed us. We told them for years now, hey, you know, there's going to be an X. There's going to be problems. You guys got to repent. They didn't care about any of that. So now we got, I mean, you're like me. You live in North Carolina. You know, these places that got utterly destroyed. You know, okay, Asheville, people go, well, Asheville's a liberal place. It's not a sundown. Yeah, but you don't know Asheville's history. They did a lot of lynching in Asheville. Lots of lynching in Asheville. And they scrubbed the internet from the history of Asheville. But
No, they didn't.
but they did a lot of deviance to our people, a lot of grievous deviance to our people in Asheville. Now, granted, all those people in the, like, okay, so I worked in Newton, North Carolina. Newton, North Carolina is like at the base of the hill, along with Lenoir. Like they're like 20 minutes apart. Newton, on my way to Newton to go to work, I have to go past a slew of Confederate flags. Okay, next door to Newton, the county next to Newton is Burke County. Burke County is where all of the rednecks are. So these people who are right there at the base of the mountain, going up the mountain, is where a bunch of racists are, or were, I should say it like that. And these are older people. So it's not like these people are young and vibrant and yada, yada. No, these are the older people who said, you know what, I'm leaving these people, getting away from these people, getting away from Charlotte, and we're going to go to the mountains and live. And they rode their Harleys, and they ride their little three-wheelers, and they got their little campers and all their stuff and their big trucks, and they roll up the mountain. And, you know, what did they expect? We told them. Now, did we know that it was going to hit North Carolina the way it did? No. But we've been telling them that judgment's on the way, and they don't want to acknowledge that. They get mad. They're all over TikTok being mad right now, right? They all upset in their feelings about us saying, hey, this is judgment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they are definitely upset. It's like we've been telling them for years that judgment was coming, but they always insult our intelligence as if we have no understanding. We don't know what we're talking about. We've been crying out to the Gentiles for years of who we are. What you've been taught is a lie. You've been deceived, and judgment is coming. And they didn't take heed. So judgment came. Honestly, I didn't lose any sleep over it. I had family in Marion. Honestly, I didn't lose any sleep because I knew they were good. I was like, them the Most High's people. They're good. They got flooded out, but they were fine. But those Gentiles, they say you can smell the bodies up there.
Yeah.
They say the stench is horrific.
Yep. Yeah. And all that is karma for, the Devil's Punch Bowl in Mississippi. So all these states have been put on blast for North Carolina that they all are next. And, we got one coming now, and it's coming through Galveston, Texas. Another, what's next? Orange and, oh my goodness. Once you're going west on I-10 and you cross over the Louisiana, Texas border. There is, I want to say Katy, but it's not Katy. It is the first sundown town that you get to going into Texas that no black person should ever stop at, and they're proud of it to this day. These towns, and then there's hurricanes coming over, and listen, I don't have any empathy or sympathy. What I do have is I do care. I do care about the fact that they taking this ass whipping, but at the same time, my care only goes so far, because when I when I reflect on what their history, I'm just going to leave it at that. When I reflect on their history, all of the care goes away, because it's like, damn, dude, do you not realize that this is karma? That you can't see that these things are going to start to happen, really ramp up? You know, we got a double moon going on, which is Nibiru. People say, it's not Nibiru. Okay, whatever. You know, it's going to dismay the heathens. They're going to be in all disarray. As soon as it comes, which is tonight, and it's funny, it's been very cloudy over here. So as soon as they see, as soon as it's clear enough for them to see the first signs of that massive moon, they're going to be in disarray. They're going to be dismayed and disarray. They're going to be struggling. And rightfully so, right? Rightfully so.
Rightfully so. Rightfully so. I'm going to say something that's a tad bit personal, a personal experience. I don't think I've ever told you. You know, I used to live in Vegas for around 20 years, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
As soon as I got back, I was here no more than a year. I had an Edomite put a gun to my face. And yeah, because I had to make a run that they was expecting, and the GPS took me down an off-road, and I went down the off-road. There was nothing that said no trespassing or anything, and I went on his property, wasn't violent or anything, and he pulled the gun, and I was looking at my GPS, and I looked up, and he was on the side of my truck with a gun to me. But here's the great thing about this story. Me personally, I know that we aren't supposed to, that our weapons of warfare are not carnal, but I keep a firearm. And I had one in my truck, and I normally keep it right there next to me. But the entire day, my spirit was telling me, you don't need it today. You don't need it today. Just leave it locked up in the console safe. You don't need it today. I'm driving, going throughout my day, and I kept looking down at it because I always keep it out, and my spirit kept saying, not today, not today. You don't need it today. A higher power has you, not today. And when that happened, and I survived it, of course, I went home and reflected on it. Only thing I could do was give praises to the Most High. Even their blessing of the sword no longer works. It no longer works. And people act as if America's racist in general, but people act as if North Carolina isn't racist. I can tell you stories about growing up here. I've been to South Central, no problems. New York, no problems. I've been to Florida, no problems. One problem in Texas. But North Carolina is different. They deserve everything, because when we bring up the atrocities, they say, "Oh, you're crying victim. Oh, you're not oppressed." I mean,
we didn't have nothing to do with it. You know, it's aggravating.
It is. It's like they find themselves not guilty all the time, but then they get mad at us when the Most High enacts vengeance, and we're like, we don't care. I can't speak for you, but personally, I don't care. I pray for their destruction, like King David. I pray for their.
Go ahead, brother. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I pray for their destruction, but then they'll say, "Well, you need to be like Jesus." Oh, you mean white Jesus? The same white Jesus you went around the globe killing under the banner of, that white Jesus.
That one, right?
That one.
No, I mean, and just so I'm clear, so we're clear, I don't care. Like the only feeling that I have is a caring moment. Like I'm like, because for instance, when I first saw that wave of water come over the hill, that like I was like, what is this? And when I first saw the devastation, I was like, man, that's crazy. So the care came in for a moment, and then I said, but that's judgment. It is what it is. Selah. Because we don't have time for that. Like, that's not our business. That has nothing to do with us. And it's going to ramp up. And it's got to ramp up. These people have lied so much. And I tell you, the politics of it as well. Now these people are looking at, oh, well, we need some help. We need some help. Well, Biden is taking all your money, all your resources, all your army, your National Guard, and moved them across seas to fight for Ishmael. And, don't look at us. We're not going to fight for you, And it's funny, he cut them off. Like, what people don't realize is that the way that the water hit area of the mountains, it rushed down the mountains, cutting off various roads. So these people are trapped. Like they are cut off. That's why Obadiah is so real, because he cut them off just like they did us. Just like in 70 AD when we were trying to get out, the Esau was sitting on the road, cutting us off, snitching, showing the Romans where we were. Now there's nobody showing them where they were, because the Most High knows where they are, and he's cutting them off. He has cut them off asunder, and they're struggling. And they're trying to act like we should care. We should have some empathy and some sympathy. And all I know is I was down in Louisiana. I lived in Baton Rouge during Katrina and Gusto, and Gusto flattened Lake Charles, and Katrina flattened New Orleans. And Gusto, it was kind of a mixed area that the winds destroyed and took a lot of, because in Louisiana there's a lot of, especially Lake Charles, there's a lot of trailers. So it just took a lot of trailers out. Well, for New Orleans, as we know, it's a lot of our people, and they didn't care. Those people were in their ceilings, in their homes, on their roofs, and all these people down there, because I was there, they were like, we feel for them, but it'll cleanse it. It'll get, them niggas is just, they should have got out. I can't remember the mayor's name, but the mayor had all the Amtraks at a certain time take everybody out for free, and all that you could hear was they shouldn't have left. The people that were leaving to try to get over the waterway, the spillway right there, to get into the next parish, to get onto land in the next parish, that sheriff and his deputies were cutting them off because they were like, y'all niggas ain't coming over here. So this isn't, and then they go, well, it's worse than Katrina. Absolutely. Remember, they got to get double. They're going to have double. Like, it's going to be worse on them than it ever has been on us. And they just need to prepare, They need to prepare. We got Randy Johnson's in the TikTok comment, mad because sisters are going in talking about this judgment. Shoot, the brothers ain't even gotten there yet. We just waiting to see how it all pans out. The sisters are going in hardcore on this judgment against them, and they're mad. But what's funny? They really can't go against these sisters. They really can't. They can't say nothing to them. And we're watching it firsthand. It's a beautiful thing. It really is.
Yeah, it absolutely is. They can't go against the sisters per se or any one of us because we're speaking the truth. We have no reason to bear false witness against you. You're on trial.
Right.
The Gentiles on trial for everything they've ever done, not just to us, to everybody, including themselves. Well, you're shooting yourself in your own communities, in your own neighborhoods. I'm like, you're poisoning the people with the food that you're putting out.
You're poisoning the air.
Thing. They're poisoning the air. They're poisoning the water. They're poisoning the land. Everywhere they have a history of everywhere they go, death, destruction, mayhem, chaos follows them. I've never seen an instance where they went someplace and it was for the better. Right. Somebody, please give me one.
Well, just one. Well, it depends on what worldview you're looking at, right? Because in their mind, they've gone places and they made it better for them. But for everybody else in the land and the air and the water, it was never good. And that's to be expected because they have a burden. They chose it. Like every word that's come out of their mouth in the past is coming back to haunt them right now. You know, white man's burden. You know, give us liberty or give us death. You know, these people, I'm a patriot. Well, they're going to be shooting each other. Wild, Wild West. You see what I'm saying? Like that's what I know Levi put it on his video the other day or maybe today. But I saw the same TikTok video, and I think I sent it to you, where the lady's talking about they got guns and to keep the safeties off. That's what the cops told them. If you packing, carry it. So you can get to it and keep the safeties off. Now they shooting each other, they shooting themselves. See, this is the ignorance of Esau, because he doesn't understand that you can't shoot the wind, you can't shoot the water, you can't shoot the land from caving in on you. What you gonna do? That's why they're gonna end up shooting themselves and each other. Like this you can just see it happening. Like they don't even understand. It's like they want to have. We need toilet paper. We need what? You got all those leaves out there, son. You better get to it. Well, we need toothbrushes and two socks and listen. You need to figure that out, Esau.
Exactly. I thought you were an outdoorsman. You know, a man of the woods.
Right.
I mean, remember? Yeah, they was proud. Remember, you know, in the woods taking pictures with dead animals, with the camo and the AR-15s and the 30-06s and everything. And now when the goings get tough, we need help. I thought you were built for that.
Mm-hmm.
We thought you were built for that.
I thought you were a wily hunter, Esau. You see what I'm saying? I thought you were a hunter, but it turns out you're just a faker. And you know, this isn't to belittle the situation. It's more to belittle Esau, because Esau has sat around in his and her pride and his and her vanity and vain imagination and rage, and created such chaos and commotion that the earth is upset. The animals are upset. You don't think the animals, you know, at the end of the day, my care, and I guess let me go back a bit. What I care about is all the innocent animals and vegetation that had to go to get rid of them, to wash them away. You know, these are the things that I cared about, but I know that it's judgment, and I know that those animals are fine, you know, in the big scheme of things. So, you know, everybody on the planet, in the universe, wants the scourge in the physical to go. They do. They really do. And I know some brothers and sisters will be like, well, you know, I love, you know, Jesus loves and God loves and all. But at the end of the day, everybody wants justice. Like, come on. Even they want justice. They still talking about 9/11. Now they're starting to come out and realize that it could have been an inside job. When we were telling these fools that for years, it's clearly it's clearly an inside job, an inside job-ish. I mean, period. I mean, who stood the most to gain from that? Ish. So, I mean, this stuff is not rocket science. It's not even algebra anymore. We've utilized the scriptures. We've eaten these scriptures. We've eaten them a long time. And now they are part of our DNA again. And we're able to now utilize them just like we're drinking water for our own sake. And Esau and these Edomites and these other Psalms 83 people, they don't have that ability. It's like that sister was saying today. They can't utilize our magic. They can't touch it. They don't understand it. They're looking at us like, how are these people? What power do they hold? And we just have the Most High. The Most High is back for us, and we love the Most High. And they're going, well, how do you love the Most? Listen. And then I was listening to what's going on now. Everybody, but more importantly, Gentiles, if you listen to this and you hear this, whatever, if you want to know and understand why everything is going on now, there's plenty of music out there. Lauryn Hill's, what's the sister who did Strange Fruit? Billie Holiday did it, and Nina Simone. There's plenty of music out there that is plenty of songs out there that express what our people have been dealing with throughout the ages of colonization. But there's one album that is pervasive of all avenues of what was going on and why we cried out for justice, and that's Marvin Gaye's "What's Going On." And if you want to reflect and understand, go listen to that album. Go listen to that album. You killed the babies. He was asking about, save the babies. Who's going to save the world? That we, don't talk about my father. This guy was at the pinnacle of his understanding of our crying out, and he was crying out on that album. And, white people don't understand that. They don't get that. Now, not all, but most. But I heard that today, and I was like, if people really want to understand our situation, go listen to that album. Go hear it, But they won't. They're and especially now because they're too caught up. Many of them are too caught up in their sorrow. Oh, my heart is broken for what's going on in North Carolina. Well, don't let it break too much because there's more on the way. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. They are not going to get a break.
No,
it's not going to cease. You have 1,000 years of this in totality.
1,000 years, bro.
It's not going to get better.
No,
we are praying for justice. We are praying that the Most High keeps His word. We're trying to do right by the Most High. We're trying to keep these commandments, doing everything that we need to do. And you're seeing this switch, and you're seeing this change. And don't get confused. In their homes, if we could be a fly on the wall, these people are terrified. They are scared. They are scared because we're all in the same country together, but we're not fazed by what's going on. Mm-hmm. We're not fazed at all. They shut down the ports. I'm not fazed. Mm-hmm. I'm not running out buying, 30,000 rolls of toilet paper. Right. I'm fine. Mm-hmm. The Lord will provide for His people. The Most High will take care of His people.
That's right.
We're fine.
Mm-hmm.
So we put our faith in the Most High.
That's right. It's something to be said about Goshen. Goshen is a mentality. It's the collective consciousness. It's the peace of mind. And again, we have not had peace of mind in over 2,000 years, bro. Imagine what they're looking at us like now. They're like, why do they have such peace of mind? Because they see it. I mean, it's like today. It's me and this. It was three brothers. It was me and two other brothers, and we went to lunch. And we're going to lunch, and we're laughing. We're talking about all the stuff that's going on, and we're walking down the street, and there was a I don't know, like a symposium thing that we were going to go to, and we're like, nah, I'm going back to finish up the day and work. And everybody that was coming our way that we knew was like, oh, man, how can we? They all wanted to stop and talk to us. And they were like, oh, man, the cool guys, we didn't get invited to the cool guys lunch. And the deal is that they never see us. When we are together, do you not understand how much a force we are? Like, and we're not even thinking like that. We're just walking down the street, and these people are like, what? Wow, these guys. It was so funny, dude. I was like, all praises to the Father. That's what I said. It kept it moving. You know what I mean? It was great to see us in our infancy of royalty, if you will. You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's why they pass laws against us gathering together.
Mm-hmm.
They pass loitering laws.
Mm-hmm.
I seen a brother on Big Judah's channel. He made that comment earlier, and that's what I reflected on. I'm like, yeah, they don't, because they know when two of us or more gathered together, the Holy Spirit is there.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And they'll even take it to the point where they pass gang laws. Like, you can't associate with your brother. He's a felon. And the way they lock us up at a higher disproportionate rate. If I was a felon and my cousin was a felon, remember those days where you couldn't even spend time with your family because both of y'all had a criminal record in this system?
Yeah.
Been separating us and keeping us apart. But now with social media, let's say if I was a felon and you was a felon, we can still come online and share and come together with the Holy Spirit. So whatever little tricks and whatever devices they tried to put into place, it still backfired on. All of their systems are basically being tore down. We're still coming together. We're still praising. We're still studying. We're still researching. There's really nothing they can do to hinder what's happening and what's going to continue to happen. We took our whipping, now they have to take theirs. I tell that all the time. We took our punishment, now it's your turn. You scot-free. For the hell and havoc that you raise, you just going to just fly away and get raptured. That's not
escape.
Yeah.
You think that after you have destroyed the entire earth almost to extinction, that you get to escape it by white Jesus? Like, that's what you're saying to me? Like, that doesn't even make sense. Just like just to bring it home of the delusion and madness and mental illness that they have. That picture that you sent to me today of in North Carolina that the water made the trees look like white Jesus is hilarious. Because I was like, are you kidding me? That's not. But again, they will show they want to see white Jesus so bad, but what they're going to see is black Jesus, and they're going to mourn. Like, they don't even understand. They're going to see a different Jesus, as they say, right? They're going to see him. He's going to crack those skies. They're going to be like, but wait, I thought he was white. And they're going to be crying. They're going to be crying. And be crying out. And then they're going to have to serve their time as vassals to us.
Servants.
Well, that's what a vassal is.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as they did to others and us too, they got to get done, You
reap what you sow.
And that's the time we're in right now, the reaping time. They've sown so much and for so long that the reaper is out here now. It's out here, and they're going, we don't want the reaper. And we're going, we don't either. We're done with the reaper. Sorry, he's yours. And they're going, but wait, aren't we in this together? We all need to do this. We're all Americans, just like I don't want to be called black. I want to be American. Remember that silly song thing that little trend they got on TikTok now with the silly Negroes? I mean, exactly. No, there is no we in this team. You never wanted to be on our team in the first place. So either you come be on our team now, because we certainly are not going to be on your team. Your team right now is in relegation mode. It's about to lose. It's at the last place in the league right now. We're superstars. Why would I go to your team? I mean, you forced me to go on your team for so long that I had to carry your team for so long. Now that I can be on my team, on the team, the righteous team, I don't want your wicked team. I don't want to be over there with you, dancing all up in the video. You know what I'm saying? Gotta be on the microphone. Gotta be at a party. You know what I'm saying? I don't want any of your debauchery anymore. I don't want it. So I'm going to stick to the brethren team over here. That's the righteous team, the Father's team, Yahweh Shai's team. And we're going to keep it moving. And we've got the best team trainer, the Holy Ruach, the Spirit, the Mother, the Comforter, going. So if I get hurt, it's not even a pain. It's gone. Comes and goes. Whoop, gone. So our team is set to win. Their team is set to lose. So why would we be on their team again? Like why would they? Why do they want us on it? Well, we know why they want us on our team, on their team. Mm-hmm. But we don't want to be on their team.
Yeah, because we know better. We was told to come out of her, so we're not partakers of her sins, and that's what we're doing. Well, and that's why you see all these trends. Before the latest trend, the previous one was, remember, it was all on social media with these Negro peons saying, well, white people, can we be friends? Remember that trend? Yeah, remember that trend? It was all over social media. Well, can we, white people? Not any other group of people. It wasn't Mexicans. It wasn't Asians. It was always that certain group. Well, white people, can we be friends? And a lot of us said no. And I guess, they was like, well, we need to go back to the drawing board. And now we have this new trend that's out, the one you was just thinking about. Well, we're all Americans. And, like I was talking to the young man earlier today, and we was going back and forth. And I said, bro, we're not trying to be a part of this anymore. And then he tried to hit me with the Christian rhetoric. And I said, I'm not a Christian. I said, well, why are you using the talking points? I said, that's my point. I said, you've been inundated with these people so much. You're speaking what they taught you subconsciously, and you don't even realize it. And then you're trying to tell us that we need to revel in that and come back to that. We're not doing that anymore. We're not doing that. We don't want to be a part of this anymore, especially where we can see where it's under judgment.
Right.
I'm 52 years old. I've never seen America like this in my life.
Nope.
Ever. This is the worst I've ever seen her.
Her ass is ass out, and everybody sees it, and it's filthy, it's stank, it's nasty, it ain't been washed, it ain't been clean, and everybody done had it, and everybody is talking about it, and they trying to act like it's cool, it's nice, it's good, and we're like, nah, it's not, and nobody wants it. That's the whole point now, is nobody wants to be bothered with America as it is today. And the Americans here have been bamboozled, and the Edomite Americans here, the European Americans here have been bamboozled and hoodwinked to believe that the whole world wants to be them. And the whole world's like, nah, we don't want to be you. Matter of fact, you go to England, they can't stand Americans over in England. All right? They can't stand them. French can't stand them. Germans don't really care for them. Definitely the Middle East, so-called. They don't like them. Africans don't like them. Asians don't like them. And somehow they think that everybody wants to be like them. No, everyone wants to be like us. Because they're in there, even though they're secretly conspired, they secretly conspired against us as well. They all are enamored with us. How in the world can these people withstand all of the destruction that came upon them? They are in amazement themselves. That's why when we go overseas, and I don't know if a lot of people go, but when we go overseas, they give, I won't say they give us reverence, but there's respect there. Like when I went in Germany, people straight respect me. I ain't have to even attempt, not one time, not near time, to speak German. And immediately, because they were like, hello. And I was like, hello. And they were like, oh, American? Okay. All right. And I was like, all right, well, bitte, truce. You know, I'm trying to give up my dunker shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to say silly, you know, not silly, but say the things that I knew. But they were like, oh, no, I speak American. I speak English. And so they were like, it was like a red carpet treatment for me in terms of anything that I needed. It was always like someone there to help. And then you come over here and, you know, people are kind of like, you know, I ain't got time for this. They on their phones. They doing their thing. You know what I mean? And now a lot of that stuff is gone. Like they're cut off. Those people in the hills, just in the mountains, 3 hours away from me, those fools are cut off. And it's just the beginning. All praises. All praises. They are cut off.
To the Most High.
Yeah, man.
All praises. Most High.
Praises. All praises. Whew, Lord. All right, brother. So now, what you got going on? Talk to me, man. Talk to me about this Spanish Pacific slave trade.
Wow. Cool. Man, I'm still digging into it, my brother. It's so much to unravel because it's basically been hidden. So the information on it is really scarce, and you really have to dig for it. You really have to dig for it. But what I did find is that, like the same thing that we brought out before, they basically knew who was over in the so-called, in Ophir. I don't want to say Philippines because, once again, they changed the names. They knew who was in Ophir. They knew that the gold was there. And they knew our people was there too, but they also took the other groups of people that was there, brought them via the Pacific, brought them down to New Spain, because we're not going to say Mexico, because when you say Mexico, it puts you in a certain time period. No, we're going to say New Spain. And they put them in New Spain, and they set up an entire system and created a caste group. They had Cholos, they had Chinos, they had Indios, they had Mestizos.
Mestizos, right?
And they also had, I seen it, I should have bookmarked it. They also had Sambos. When I read that, it blew my mind. Yeah, Sambos. They had a designation called Sambos, and they had, and you know who they were. You already know what they look like.
Oh yeah,
and
we do.
And each group was basically put in a tax bracket. Like if you looked a certain way, you paid a certain amount of taxes, and that caused division. And once they became vassals, everyone was able to become a vassal once again, except for us. So they basically just enslaved us on our own land. And now you have 2, 3, 4 generations. You have a whole group of people that believe they've always been here. And we can show them source after source after source. They refuse to acknowledge it. They will not look at it. Well, if I'm wrong, just explain it to me. I just want the truth. If I'm incorrect, why was this penned in history? Not just here, but from this source, and that source, and that source, and all the other sources saying that you're not the original inhabitants of this land. Why do you think you are? Well, we're not going to entertain conspiracy theories. But you're African American, though. I know that much.
Yeah, exactly.
They want to tell us who we are, but they don't know who they are. Or you're an African American, or you're black, or you're just an American. Yeah. No, I want to identify as what I want to identify as. I want to return to my heritage and my covenant that was promised to me by the Most High. No, we don't want you to do that. They know that once we return back to the Most High and He reestablishes that covenant, it's over for them.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap. This is just This is just like the taste. This isn't the 4-course meal yet. This is like the appetizer.
This is the trailer. This is just the trailer, bro. That's all. This is the preview of the trailer. So I wanted to say something about that Sambo thing, right? That Sambo term, because I had to look that up, and it is the Spanish Empire. It was actually Zambo or Sambo, right?
Okay.
And it was used in the Spanish Empire to refer to people of mixed African and Amerindian ancestry. Okay, so it's a derogatory label for a person of African descent, whatever that means. In the Spanish language, historically, it is a name in American English derived from a Spanish term for a person of African and Native American ancestry. So those that were from Africa got named Sambo, supposedly, and Native American. But if African is dark, so it wasn't the Chinos, right? It wasn't the Chino Native Americans, because why would they be named Sambos? There's no mixture in that. So these people have created, and it's funny because I think we talked about this. If you think about all the names, the derogatory names for us, Negro, Spanish, right? Negrito, Spanish. Colored, Spanish. Why? Because what does that all mean? Black, right? So it's all a derivative of Spanish in a derogatory term for our people. Why? Through this colonization. And these people think that colonization means nothing. And it doesn't mean anything to them because they benefited from it. But it means everything to us, meaning we are out to fight against colonization. And that's something that they can't understand, because when you have benefited from a thing and someone has not, and someone goes against the thing that you are benefiting from, you can't understand why it is that they are trying to go against it. And that's what's happening today. There is a mental dysfunction, a mental illness afoot for the colonists, the colonies of the colonists of colonization. So it never gets away from their root right now. And that's the other piece of the puzzle that's really got them all vexed, because we're not stopping the onslaught against them. We're not saying, okay, we'll just let colonization go. Okay, we'll just let imperialism go. Okay, we'll just let racism go. No, we're saying we want justice for colonization. We want justice for imperialization. We want justice for racism. And matter of fact, we want justice for everything that you've done. And they're going, but wait, that was so long ago. Why can't we just get along now? Well, it's too late for that, because you should have thought of that in the 20th century, and then in the 19th century, and then in the 18th, and the 17th, and the 16th, and the 15th, before it got to this point where now we're demanding justice. And our Father, and we have superseded your justice, your pseudo justice system, and we've gone straight to the Father. And that's something that they can't follow us with. They can't. They got their priests and their pastors and their ministers and their presidents and all trying to figure out how to go on the offense in the courts of the Most High. And they can't, because it's not their court.
Exactly.
It's just not their court. They're not going to be able to just walk into the UN and show, drawings, alphabet drawings, kindergarten drawings, and say, see, this is why we're doing it. No, the Father is judging you now. And, they're going to be in, Amalek is going to be in for a rude awakening. Like they ain't seen nothing. And, this whole war thing, those Persians, now watch this. Persia was used before to destroy a nation, right? They destroyed Babylon, great nation. They destroyed Medo-Persia, great nation. Then they got destroyed by Greece, okay? But the Father used them to destroy the nations before. Now they're going against Iran, supposing Persia, right? Or descendants of Persia. They're going to go against Amalek. Amalek think that they got things all under wrap. they're about to be ass out because the U.S. is about to be ass out. So, all of those that are dealing with Egypt, put our people in bondage, are about to be ass out right now, and it's not gonna be fun for them. You know what I mean? It's not gonna be fun.
Correct. All of 83
at all.
No one escapes this wrath.
So wait a minute. I want to tell the people about another book.
Okay.
I don't know if you saw this one. I think you have, but there's another book. It's a history of the Manila Acapulco slave trade, and this is 1565 to 1815. Okay. Manila to Acapulco slave trade, 1565 to 1815. And this is by a Jose Maria, oh my goodness, Lungo, PhD, Friar Jose Maria Lungo, Luengo. And the reason why I'm bringing this out real quick is because, again, this is all praises to the Most High, but Brother Johnson sent this to us as well. But the reason why I'm bringing this out because it coincides with what's going on today. We're having these port strikes, and some people are saying because of human trafficking. Like this stuff, that's a lot of innocence in itself that's got to be paid for. What's his name? Pubby, Diddy, and Epstein, and everybody that made covenants with them. And took the innocence of the children. God bless. Like these people got to pay. So this whole thing on the ports. Where'd it go again? This is about to. This is coinciding with that because this is about all the ports that they stopped at through the galleons in Africa, in Philippines, Senegal. All these different ports, Cebu, Sao Tome and Principe. These are all these ports. Ports of Manila, Filipinos. That's in Louisiana. So the deal is that why is ports important? Why or not important? Why is ports in the news today? Because ports were very important to their colonization. To their colonization. And so everything's got to come to a screeching halt. Yeah, the West or California's ports are still open for now, but everything's got to come to a halt because nothing come in and out of this place. Like this is where it says, the merchants of the world looked over and they saw her burning. Yeah, because people are going to be in disarray over here, and they're going to be burning them on the ports, on the coast. But his people will be safe in Goshen. So this is a beautiful time, man. A lot of this stuff is coming out, and it's funny how fast it came out once we started understanding the Pacific side of the slave trade from the Spanish, and now all this stuff is happening. Everything is happening all at once. It's a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying?
Very beautiful thing. And
you there, brother?
I'm still there. I'm with you, my brother.
Wait a minute, did I lose you?
No, I'm still here.
Oh, you must have it on mute, brother.
No, I can hear you crystal clear.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Bear with me.
Now, take your time, but on my end, you are crystal clear.
Uh-oh, I see. Yeah, your phone's acting up. Hang up and call back in.
Okay, I got you.
Hang up and call back in. There you go. So, yeah, I thought I was talking to Brother Sly. But all is good. I'm good with that. See, when he gets back in, I can bring him back in. And again, brothers and sisters, you guys can always call in and be on the conversation. 646-668-8217, Eastern Standard Time, 9:30 to 11. 9:30 p.m. to 11. Say that, brother. You there?
Yes, sir. I'm right here.
You there?
Yeah, I'm here. I can hear you crystal clear. I can hear you crystal clear. I don't think you can hear me.
I can, kind of barely. Move around the room real quick.
Okay. Move around. Yeah, you're good.
Shoot, you were doing fine.
All right, let me move around the room. How's this?
Yeah, a little bit. You just...
Yeah. And this is a brand new phone. You are sparkling clear on my end.
You sound like a robot.
Oh, well, no. Okay.
You see how they doing us, brother? You see that? You see how they doing us?
The prince of the air.
Gracious. They got you sound like a robot, brother.
Okay, I'm gonna try another phone. Okay.
Yeah. They messing with your technology, my man. You might want to try your other phone.
All right, I am. All right.
All right, brothers and sisters. We still rolling. The Father ain't, told us to stop. But there is a TikTok thing that I want to show and share. So I'll wait till he gets back before I start so that I can see if he... There we go.
How's this?
All right, brother. You there?
I'm here.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you crystal clear.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same. That is so crazy.
It's their technology.
I mean, when I do hear you, you sound like a robot. You sound computerish. Hold on, I'm gonna see if I can hang up. I'm gonna see if I can call you.
Okay.
That's so crazy. Let's see. He said I'm crystal clear on his end.
Shalom.
All right, brother. Shalom. Are you there?
I'm here.
God,
how do I sound?
You sound fine. You sound fine.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. Man, they putting us through it. You see how
my end, you were crystal clear.
Really?
Yeah, crystal clear on both phones.
Man, well, when you hear the playback, you'll see that it sounded like muffled and robotic. I mean, or computer. Like it just sounded like a computer.
Okay.
So I don't know how else to explain it, but it just didn't. I couldn't hear you at all. Like when you said something, it just wouldn't do it. But good, I got you now. We can finish our conversation. That's good. I'm trying to get to TikTok to Sunday to Sabbath because she made a very good video, and I was going to do it on my phone, but I'm going to see if it'll come through. Oh my God, Craig Mack. I'm going to see if it comes through on TikTok. See if I can find it. But yeah, go ahead. Keep talking. You were saying something, and then what were you saying?
I was about to speak on the ports.
Okay, there we go.
About ports being shut down.
Mm-hmm.
sometimes people forget how much criminal activity, like you was bringing up, goes on at those ports.
Mm-hmm.
People are worried, we're not going to have food and we're not going to have diapers. There's human trafficking going on at those ports.
Mm-hmm.
There's troops coming in through those ports.
Yep.
There's all type of chaos and mayhem going on at those ports. Because if you ever think about it, even in their movies, when a lot of stuff goes down, when CD deals go down, where are they at? They're at the ports.
That's right.
They're always at the ports. They meet me at the dock.
Yep. Yep. And that's where the drugs came in against our people. That's where they brought. They were shipping us to different ports. So yeah, the ports got to pay. Everything has a payment. Like it's a price tag on each of these things that they have that they've created within their system, because everything stemmed to us because we were the currency. Our energy is their currency, and our bodies was their currency. Our minds were their currency. So now mind, body, and spirit has been taken from them. They no longer have the currency, and now their energy is defunct. They're finding it hard to plug in without our currency. And that's fine for me, for you, for us, but for them, not so much, not so much. But yes, the ports are, it is a extremely important piece of the puzzle, and it's an extremely important piece of judgment on these people. Everything that they do is dependent on these ports. Everything. Remember a few years ago, Evergreen. I was
just about to say that.
You know what I'm saying? Ports. Like these things are nothing is a coincidence. A coincidence? No, I think not. These things are by design, and the Father has made it. And it's funny how, pre-2019, we could feel it, but we couldn't see it. Now, after the eclipse in 2024, now our eyes are wide open. We can see, we have more sight now than we've ever had.
Exactly. It's calamity after calamity after calamity.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody with half a brain would actually say, what's going on?
Right.
That's odd. Even if you didn't have a spiritual understanding of it, even a common sense aspect of it, which they don't have, that's why they can't see it.
That's right.
And something kept building up, and it was setback after tragedy, after calamity, after disaster, after another setback, after another discovery. Eventually, I would look at it and be like, you know what? What's going on? Why are all these things occurring? But they don't consider.
No. The hardest thing... Go ahead.
They don't consider.
They don't. That's the hardest thing for them. Say that again.
Like when we didn't consider.
Right. Right. But
now we consider, why are we in this situation? We broke covenant.
Right.
Let's do what we need to do.
Right.
Now, the curses are being put on them. They are how we were. They're not considering.
But what's the difference, though? There's a major difference between us and them in not considering. We didn't consider that our Father would leave us, right? And so we were inconsiderate of the Father's feelings, and He left us. They are inconsiderate of their own feelings, where they never even had the Father. And they didn't care about the Father nor His people. Now, in order for them to care about the Father or the Creator, the prime Creator, Yahweh, they have to care about His people. You see that? Like the whole concept of we didn't care about the Father's feelings. They didn't care about our feelings. So the Father says, since you don't care about my people's feelings, I don't care about your feelings. In order for me to care about your feelings, you have to care about my people's feelings. And for us, they were like, because you don't care, he said, because you don't care about my feelings, I don't care about your feelings. You see that? I mean, this is like, it is an amazing thing to see from a physical, mental perspective, a metaphysical perspective at that, to be able to now see the error. And if they would just listen to us, we're not cursing them, we're not lynching them, we're not shooting them, we're not making laws against them, we're not redlining them, we're not enslaving them. All we're saying is, hey, guess what? We now have been awoken to realize who we are. And it's a beautiful thing for us, because we're the people who you have said had no history, was nothing. Now we know we are something. That is a beautiful thing for us, and it surely should be for you, because if you treat us well, we'll treat you well, and you too can have salvation. To hell with that. Jesus, like Jesus said that he died for my sins and gave me salvation. The whole world gets salvation. We don't have to go through you. Okay. Calamity after calamity after calamity, until some of them get it, until the number that the Father wants to get it, gets it, and cleaves. That's it. That's it.
There's only a few of them are going to really understand what's going on.
Yep.
Because the majority of them are hard-headed and stiff-necked.
Yes. Even more than us.
I know. I thought, and now I understand how the Father felt. I thought we were bad.
Right. Isn't that crazy?
They're different. You can't, that pride.
Mm-hmm. That pride and vanity. That vanity and pride. That idolatry is a hell of a drug, man. And look what it did to us. It damn near destroyed us altogether. If it wasn't by the grace and mercy of the Father, we would be utterly destroyed through vanity, idolatry, and just pure wickedness. We would have been destroyed. And all we're doing now is telling them, hey, we almost were completely destroyed, but by the grace of the Father, he allowed us to come up out of it. And now we're here to tell you all, hey, come up out of this. Listen, you guys have been eating on lies a long time. This Spanish Pacific slave trade is the smoking gun. Your Atlantic slave trade's got too many holes in it. We're the mystery within your history. Listen, you need to listen. And they're, some are going, what did you just say? And then the rest of them are going, scoff, mock. You people always want to cultural appropriate. You always want to take, okay, that's fine. We've got receipts. Look at this. And then tell me, are the Father, the righteous, universal creator, is he righteous or wicked? Well, of course he's righteous. Well, why would his people be doing pure wickedness right now? Why, if Ish is the people, why are they so bloodthirsty? Why can't they reason the matter out? If the whole world is saying, Ish, you're doing too much, why don't you stop? Okay, you've got this, you've done that, okay, stop. Why do they keep going? They can't reason the matter out because the Spirit's not in them. They can't stop their bloodthirsty lust because that is who they are. They are not his people. That is just the character, the non-characteristics of not being his people. And that's the deal. That's the deal. That's why this thing is so amazing at this time, to have your eyes open enough to be able to see through the veil, to see the wizard. And now that the wizard sorcery don't work no more on us, we're like, nah, we ain't messing with y'all. This stuff is judgment. Let it be. Selah. And they're mad.
We are no longer falling for their witchcraft.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they try to push it on us, but we rebuke it. We're not falling for we should all come together pray for me, pray for us. Can we all just get along? We're not falling for that anymore. We are separating.
Mm-hmm.
We want to be separate. Both from a spiritual standpoint, and from a physical standpoint, and definitely a mental standpoint.
Yeah.
Babylon will drive you crazy.
It will drive you insane, man.
You have to be strong.
I'm
shocked that we as a collective we haven't snapped yet. And when we wild out, Jake can wild out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
yes,
shocked.
he can.
Yeah, I'm shocked. Just as a collective, we still held it together, and we still stayed strong, and we maintained.
Mm-hmm.
And now we have a stronger spiritual footing.
Mm-hmm.
We know that there's nothing that they can really do to us.
Well, that's all grace. That's all by the grace of the Most High. That's all by His love and His mercy. Because He said, "I ain't gonna destroy you all utterly, but I'm gonna destroy enough of you." And to the fourth generation, He told us that hey, I'm gonna take care of you to the fourth generation after you go through something. So here we are, and yeah, you're right. We held it together by the sinews of the Most High. The sinews.
Yeah, it was all His will.
It was all His, bro. Because we were wild. Like I catch myself throughout the day. Like it's even more so now. That's why I know things is changing. I catch remembrances of my wilding times. I'm like, dude, golly, was I not wild? I was a wild. Thank you, Father. You know what I mean? Because I was a wildin'. I ain't gonna go all into my crazy days. Matter of fact, I don't even recall. I don't even know what you're saying. But at the end of the day, I know that I was wild. You know what I mean? So
I forgot all that too.
I don't even know what you're saying. Matter of fact, whatever.
Trying to be a new creature.
That's it. And that was long. Look, that was a long time ago. That was a long time ago. I don't even recall. Shoot.
That was the 20th century.
Yeah. And the thing is, the Father, as all this stuff comes back to remembrance, good and bad comes back because He wants to test us so that we can repent. We can say, hey, Father, you see, I repented. Forgive me and thank you. And thank you, Because
every now and then I may have a flashback or something I did maybe a decade ago. I'm like, oh, bro. You need to repent for that
again, and then you do, and you do, It is crazy. All right, but let me play. I'm gonna give a shout out to from Sunday to Sabbath. This sister is on point. I wanted to play this because I felt like this is for the nation. This is for us to. And I don't know if it's going to record or not but we're going to see. We'll see. All right. Uh-oh.
This country to do reparations.
Can you hear that? Oh my goodness. Hold on. And I got to pause it there. So the guy who was just lynched here recently, and this is for everybody, just so they know, because a lot of people, they might have forgotten this or what have you. But the guy who, the teenager, I guess he was a trucker or whatever, that they lynched was Hendersonville, North Carolina. Hendersonville. Correct. And if you look at Hendersonville today, it's in disarray. It is in disarray. Mm-hmm. That's dirty figures. Yeah, that's exactly right. Mm-hmm. 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 Yep. Whatever. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Very. Right. Mm-hmm. 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 That's right. Mm-hmm. Yep. That's right. That's right. That's right. Mm-hmm. Praise. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. You like that? Did you hear that?
Yeah. That sister, she stays in the spirit.
Yes, she does.
I love watching videos.
I know, man.
I love watching her videos.
She is so spot on. I mean, at the end of the day, it is about us. It's not about anybody else but us and all those that cleave. You know, nobody is saying here nobody on the remnant within the remnant is saying no Gentiles can come. No, if you cleave, you are no longer a Gentile. You're part of the house of Israel. We have to respect that because you've done the due diligence. You are now walking the walk, just like we are. You know, nobody's here saying that we're the greatest, although we are. But I'll take that out. But nevertheless, we are saying that we are doing what we have to do. We're not looking for other people to do things for us anymore. We're not even doing that. We're not going that route. You know?
I'm still contemplating her words because I seen it the other day, but now when I listen to it again, they're just so powerful.
They are, man. That's what I said.
Yeah, the Most High is fighting for His people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we have wisdom. We have our big brother Yahweh Shai. It's like,
mm-hmm.
All the pieces are coming together.
They are.
We just need to continue doing what the Most High told us to do.
Right.
We can't worry about anybody else.
That's right.
We can't worry about anybody else that looks like us.
Mm-mm.
We need to do our best to walk this walk.
Right. They are all distractions, right?
Yeah, and don't pay attention. Exactly, because in the media, they're going to hit us with a bunch of distractions.
Mm-hmm.
So we can't fall for that. We need to do what the Most High told us to do.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I love her videos, man. I'm just sitting here just contemplating everything she's saying.
Yeah, man, she is on point. She was spot on. That's Sunday to Sabbath, you know, from Sunday to Sabbath. So she is on TikTok, and she is a wonderful, spirited sister who gives her all for the Father. And she has a great testimony as well. All right, so now I want to read Ezekiel 30 to take us out because this is where we are, and I'm gonna give the background to why we picked this one, because the thumbnail I was doing thumbnails, and I had asked Brother Sly. I said, didn't Egypt get destroyed? And he said, yeah, Egypt was destroyed, right? That's what you said. Biblically, but per the Bible, you said that Egypt was destroyed. Is that correct?
Correct.
So then I went and looked up. I asked Google a question about that, and it pulled up the destruction of Egypt and the cities thereof. Now, in this case, we're going to say Egypt, as we all know, is bondage, and all those cities around Egypt or bondage that kept us in bondage as well. So this is from the 1599 Geneva, Ezekiel 30, the destruction of Egypt and the cities thereof. The word of the Most High came again unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesy and say, Thus saith the Most High, howl and cry, woe be unto this day, for the day is near, and the day of Yahweh Shai is at hand, or the day of the Most High is at hand, a cloudy day, and it shall be the time of the heathen. There's your Esau's trouble. And the sword shall come upon Egypt, and fear shall be in Ethiopia, when the slain shall fall in Egypt, when they shall take away her multitude, and when her foundations shall be broken down. Ethiopia and Put and Lut, and all the common people in Chub, and the men of the land that is in league shall fall with them by the sword. Thus saith the Most High, they also that maintain Egypt shall fall, and the pride of her power shall come down. From the tower of Syene shall they fall by the sword, saith the Most High. and they shall be desolate in the midst of the countries that are desolate, and her cities shall be in the midst of the cities that are wasted. And they shall know that I am the Most High when I have set a fire in Egypt, and when all her helpers shall be destroyed. In that day shall their messengers go forth from me in ships to make the careless Moors afraid, and fear shall come upon them as in the day of Egypt. For lo, it cometh. Thus saith the Most High of hosts, I will also make the multitude of Egypt to cease by the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babel. Now I'm going to stop there for a second. I found it to be our place right now. Nebuchadnezzar is Babylon, and Egypt is after Babylon in the timeline of civilizations. So when you do a search of Nebuchadnezzar, what does it mean in Egypt? What does it mean? What does it mean in Hebrew? It means heir, like an heir to the throne, a person legally entitled to the property or rank of another on that person's death. Right? Then when you do Babel in the Hebrew means confusion. So let's read that again. Thus saith the Most High of hosts, I will also make the multitude of Egypt by the hand of the heirs, the heirs king of confusion, the heirs king of confusion. For he and his people with him, even the terrible nations, shall be brought to destroy the land, and they shall draw the swords against Egypt and fill the land with the slain. This is what they're going to do to each other. And I will make the rivers dry and sell the land into the hands of the wicked. And I will make the land waste, and all that therein is by the hands of strangers. I, the Most High, have spoken it. Thus saith the Most High of hosts, I will also destroy the idols, and I will cause their idols to cease out of Noph, and there shall be no more a prince of the land of Egypt. And I will send a fear in the land of Egypt, and I will make Pathros desolate, and will set fire in Zoan, and I will execute judgment in No. And I will pour my wrath upon Sin, which is the strength of Egypt, and I will destroy the multitude of No. And I will set fire in Egypt. Sin shall have great sorrow, and No shall be destroyed, and Noph shall have sorrows daily. The young men of Avon and of Pi Beset shall fall by the sword, and these cities shall go into captivity. Now the sword in our day is the gun. At Telephanes the day shall restrain his light, when I shall break there the bars of Egypt. And when the pomp of her power shall cease in her, the cloud shall cover her, and her daughter shall go into captivity. Thus will I execute judgments in Egypt, and they shall know that I am the Most High of hosts. And in the 11th year, in the first month, and in the 7th day of the month, the word of the Most High came unto me, saying, Son of man, I have broken the arm of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. We have broken the arm of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and put a roll to bind it, and so make it strong to hold the sword. Therefore, thus saith the Most High, behold, I come against Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and will break his arm that was strong, but is broken. His arm that was strong, but is broken, and I will cause the sword to fall out of his hand, and I will scatter the Egyptians among the nations, and I will disperse them through the countries, and I will strengthen the arm of the king of Babel, and the king of confusion, and put my sword in his hand. But I will break Pharaoh's arms, and he shall cast out sighings as the sighings of him that is wounded before him. But I will strengthen the arm of the king of confusion, and the arms of Pharaoh shall fall down, and they shall know that I am the Most High of hosts, when I shall put my sword to the hand of the king of confusion, and he shall stretch it out on the land of Egypt, and I will scatter the Egyptians among the nation, and disperse them among the countries, and they shall know that I am the Most High of hosts. So I feel like that's a manifestation of what's going on right now. Would you say so?
Definitely. There's so much symbolism in this chapter alone,
Mm-hmm.
because we know that Egypt means bondage.
Right.
You also have confusion.
Mm-hmm.
You also have the destruction of Pharaoh.
Yep.
His arms being broken.
Yep.
And that's what we're witnessing. We are witnessing their systems being broke, basically being decimated.
Yep. And isn't that what Persia, confusion, Iran, confusion, isn't that what they're doing too? They just shot those missiles over to Ishland, and being taken. So
exactly, and the idols are being destroyed.
Yep.
Their celebrities are being brought down. The stars are falling from heaven.
Yep.
There's a lot going on in this chapter.
And I tell you, the Geneva made it sound really different than the KJV as well. It was completely.
Geneva reads differently.
Yeah.
Now, do you have the Geneva that's in Old English?
This is my Bible gateway. I'm online. It's making it easy for me. So this is not the Old English Geneva, but I know the Old English Geneva. That one I have to take a little bit more time and care to read because of the Old English. But I like the Old English. It kind of makes it sound more sound closer to the truth, to the truth of it, than the regimented English that we speak now. But I just wanted to bring this one out. There's so much going on. We're going to continue our studies into the Spanish. Brother Judah is just knocking it out the park with a lot of it, in terms of the vassals, connecting the dots. These puzzles are brought together, all praises by the Most High. And our minds and our understanding has come by way, all praises to the Most High, but also to our Heavenly Mother, the Holy Spirit, the Holy Ruach. And our brother, Yahweh Shai, has shown us the way to act, to be in accordance so that we can get these pieces of the puzzle and stand in great boldness. Like, this is just such a three-pronged attack that the Gentiles have no way of coming against it. Like, there's absolutely no way, because we're healed faster. We know the way. We're healed faster, and we got protection. So there's just nothing that they can do right now unless they cleave to us. And if they don't, then that's on them. Because we're not running trying to save anybody. That's not how this works over here. It's we're not we're not saying, oh, well, we got to heal you. We got to lay hands on you. No, we're not saying that. That's dumb. That's dumb. You have to do that yourself. What's that rap song? I can't do nothing for you, man. You got to do it on your own. You know what I mean? Like, this is real talk. Like, this thing is real talk, Yeah,
they need to figure it out.
They do. All right, so I'm gonna let you have the last word, brother, because much love to you and I respect you. So I'm giving you the last word to take us out on, so that we can close it down for the evening.
Well, the only thing I like to say to the nation is that, first off, all praises to the Most High. First and foremost, love to our Mother Wisdom, the Ruach, our big brother Yahweh Shai. But for the nation, we just need to stay on course. We need to do what the Most High told us to do. I was speaking to my cousin earlier, and I'm going to make this short. And I was explaining to him, this is what our great-grandparents and our great-great-grandparents prayed for. When they was crying out to the Most High at night and lamenting, and they was really in the muck and in the turmoil. This is what they prayed for. They prayed for deliverance out of this situation, and we are almost out of this situation. So just hold your heads up, stay prayed up, and hopefully we'll see each other. We'll all be together in the kingdom. And all this will just be a really bad memory that our grandkids and our kids and our great-grands and our great-great-grands will never have to deal with.
Never.
So just be strong and stay prayed up.
All praises, brother. Well stated. Well stated. And I appreciate you. Thank you for coming on. And I'm sure that we'll do this again soon. But all praises. Thank you, brother. Thank you for your time and your energy. And I bid you shalom as I bid the nation. Shalom.
Shalom.